Hi, welcome back to Baxter's Growing Mad. I'm Tom. It's the 20th of February, a little bit warmer, 6 degrees, and today we'll be getting to work on the raised border. It's a loud plane. Anyway, let's get to it. Cleaning out the border here for the raspberries. I found these clay pipes. These will be really cool. These, I'll use these for something, maybe growing really long straight carrots in there, maybe. We'll see. Some carpet here. I'll pull this up and see what it is behind it. Bloody hell. Oh yes, look at that. Another one. I'll have to take them to tip. Looks like someone's been living under there. Maybe a mouse or something. There's a nest there, look. That's cool. Some doormats. There's an outline of a border. Might be able to use these. Look. I'll rake some of these piles back into there, see if I can level it off. Right, that's it, all the material and soil cleaned out of this border. It's not 100%, but it's never going to be a show garden. It's here to serve a purpose. And I've got some I've got some raspberries in there. Got quite a bit of rubbish out of it. Some of this wood I can reuse. This is alright. Some of this stuff here. Some of it's a bit rotten, I can take that to the tip. The carpet's going to the tip. Or I might even put the carpet on top of the compost heap. Use it as an insulation layer. But yeah, nice and flat. I can start now getting an idea of running my wooden borders on the outside and the front and across the side panels. Yeah, looking good. And then I know I've put quite a bit of material and soil in here, but this is just going to be like a holding pen for, I'm going to use this to backfill in my raised beds, I think. It's quite a bit of soil, it's not bad. And then eventually I'm going to get a second compost bin on here, or compost heap here, to use to turn over to aerate the compost. But I need to find a place for these rhubarb, really. I don't want to damage them. Yeah, and get my raised bed or raised border in here, and then I'm going to add some more soil into there and then get my raspberries planted as soon as, because I'm not running out of time. But yeah, that's what it looks like at the moment. Now I'll put this one in, this panel in as a temporary, just temporary really, to see that's how it was going to look. It's bowing in the middle, as you can see. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reinforce it here. There's also a gap, so I'm going to reinforce it, bring it in a bit. I've got it sat on top of this wood here, so if I can reinforce it there. And also I'm going to use the blocks, some of the pallet blocks on the edge here. Cardboard's going to lay down here instead of using a membrane. I'll use my cardboard that I've I'm going to run it down here, and I'm going to put wood chip on here to make my first path. Hello and welcome back to Baxter's Growing Mad. Today I'm excited to install the first raised beds on the allotment. For the next few days I will be working to get the raised beds completely ready for sowing seeds and planting raspberry canes. Right, for the purpose of this video, the raised border is going to be called the raspberry bed, as I will be building the raspberry bed and 2 other raised beds in this video. To make the raised raspberry bed, I ran 2 pallet boards the width of the allotment and another 2 pallet boards parallel at 90 centimetres. These were secured to pallet blocks in each corner of the bed. I reinforced the sides of the bed with offcuts of pallet boards, creating a stake and hammering them into the soil. These stakes were then drilled into the side of the pallet board as I went along. As you can see in the video, I have my tiny spirit level out. I ran the spirit level along the edge of the board, making sure the board was level as I worked along. Why raised beds and why not plant directly in the soil? Raised beds are great to have on any allotment, especially if you have limited space and poor soil quality, which is the case on my allotment. They provide a raised surface for planting, allowing me to control the soil levels, drainage and nutrient levels. Plus, they're a lot easier on my back and knees when it comes to planting, sowing and harvesting. Next, I measured and cut the pallet boards for the sides of the raised bed. These were secured by screwing into the pallet blocks that were fastened in the corner of the beds earlier. As you can see, I'm attaching the pallet boards running at the back of the bed. I secured these with stakes into the ground and levelled and screwed into the side of the bed. I also screwed into the fence post for extra support. I measured continuously across the width of the bed, making sure I was keeping the size consistent all the way along. At this point I was struggling a bit in the far corner. The level wasn't correct. The sideboard was really high compared to the panel boards, which I had previously levelled. When I secured the boards together, it almost looked twisted. I couldn't figure out where I'd gone wrong, and I was scratching my head for a while. In this situation, I think it's best just to take a step back and do something else and focus on a different job. So I started filling the bed with topsoil from the compost bin. As soon as I started this, I was able to process my mistake and where I'd gone wrong. So after I filled the bed up a little with a couple of barrows of topsoil, I realised I had been checking my levels going along the bed, but I never once checked my levels going across the bed. And this is where in fact I was going wrong. The last pallet board at the back of the bed was high and rising to the far corner. Once I levelled this out, the bed looked a lot better and less twisted. Once this was complete, I was able then to carry on filling the bed up with topsoil. Right, that's the raised border in. At first it didn't look right down in this corner. It looked a bit twisted, so I realised that I hadn't checked my levels running horizontally and at the back as well, but it looked like it was raising up in the corner. It looked twisted. What I'd forgot to do was run my levels across in sections. So I went back and it looked like I was raising up a bit. So I've re-leveled it on that side. It looks a little bit better. It's not perfect, but it'll do the job for raspberries. And then obviously my path's going here. It looks a bit better. I can come back maybe tomorrow and plant some raspberries that I've got at home. I've also ordered some raspberries as well, but the weather time is not on my side. It's starting to get dark now. Sun's going down, so yeah, I might come back tomorrow for a couple of hours and carry on. But it's all starting to take shape, and looking forward to it. Looking forward to growing some food and some fruit in there. Doesn't look that bad now. It doesn't look as twisted. It looks level now. Back at it like I promised the very next day. No raspberries planted yet. I decided that I'm going to wait for my delivery and plant them all at the same time. With these raised beds, I followed the same technique as I used to build the raised raspberry border. Right, first I levelled the ground and then I fixed the pallet boards with the pallet blocks in the corners. Next I measured the width of the path that I wanted, and then I fixed the beds in place and then levelled again. Right, that's all I've got time for today. I've got 2 single panel raised beds in, and I've got my raspberry border in. I've got my path in with my cardboard down. This will eventually, when this gets wet, sink down, and then I can add some more wood chip bark in there to create my path. So it'll eventually rot down and it'll add to the ecosystem and of the soil and give me a better quality soil. Just got to make sure I tap it down. Both beds and borders are level. Super impressed with what I've done, what I've achieved. I'm going to get some cardboard in this bed and in the second bed, and then I'm going to fill it up with some topsoil and some well-rotten manure, and then hopefully I can start planting some seeds out. It's getting warmer today. It is warm. It's about 11 degrees, so brilliant. I've got a bit of fettling to do on this bed. It looks a bit high here and a bit low here, so I might have to just lift it up a bit. Here I've had to go shorter with the path to get the 2 paths in, to get the 2 beds in. So with this path I've gone 60 centimetres wide. That's enough for me to walk down and do what I need to do without knocking anything. Here I've had to go 50 centimetres, which is very narrow, but I can still fit down there. I can still get a barrow down there. The only issue is if I ever want to build up higher, more than 3 boards, if I ever want to, on both sides, it might catch on the barrow, so it might be, I might have to keep these beds a bit low. Right, that brings me to the end of the video. I'm super happy with the way the raised beds have turned out. I can't wait to start planting in these beds and seeing the allotment come to life over the next few months. Thank you for joining me on this allotment journey. If you have enjoyed the video, please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, or drop me a comment for any advice or tips. Until next time, keep growing mad.